one of you guys. I think which one of you guys share
You want to do it? You probably say you do introduce.
Well, I so no, that's fine. So we're gonna have Sasha here talking a little bit about what they're doing over in EASA Bulgaria and the residency, and sort of, yeah, some of us know how it started at INCM, but we're really interested to know how they got to the point that they are. And I think we're gonna get a sneak peek into what it looks like, the space.
Yeah, you are.
So yeah, I'll let you take it away, and we're gonna mute ourselves and we'll be recorded. But yeah, if for anything, just give us a shout.
Yes. First, thank you guys for this invitation. We love sharing what we're doing, of course, and yeah, you'll see what we've been up to. So first, I'm gonna start with some kind of a timeline or how everything that we're doing right now started. So at least for the team of EASA Bulgaria, for sure, the first thing that really got EASA Bulgaria into the game, into the scene of EASA, like in an organizational standpoint, let's say, was definitely hosting EASA Bulgaria in 2014. I personally was not there because I was still finishing high school that year, but it definitely was the first time EASA Bulgaria's team became really big, and were able to pull off an event like this. And during the years afterwards, when I came to EASA, and some people, when they asked me, when I told them that I'm from Bulgaria, and they were from the older generations that were to EASA Bulgaria 2014, were like, oh my God, that was one of my most favorite events, and so on. And it made us very proud, even though we didn't know exactly what happened and how cool it was. But still, it gave us some kind of an idea, because like our country is a small country. We've been not really a successful country in the last, let's say, 200 years, even more, like several centuries. And to see something like this, to feel recognized and to see that people believe in what we're able to do is really, it really gives us a lot of hope and ambition and so on. And for us, hearing something like this when we started going to EASA was like, wow, like we've done something about this whole European organization thing. And yeah, so next thing came like EASA Lithuania. I've named this like the fire starters because they're Teddy and Trusina, some of you may know them, did a workshop together, which was a very theoretical one with white poles. And the idea of it was nobody really knows what the idea was, but the result was a lot of thinking, a lot of talking. And in the later years, a lot of the people who were in that workshop and Tedo and Rusina like became future organizers of future EASA events, which like in my opinion was a very crucial point at some point in thinking about EASA and how to continue this this wave of continuity, which then INCM Madrid 2016, the Bulgarian team got the idea of hosting an INCM because of all the talking that they did during that workshop and all the EASA connected discussions. They bid, but they didn't win. INCM Lapland happened afterwards, but that didn't stop our team to apply again. In EASA Denmark is where I and most of the people who do the thing with the residents came into EASA. The idea then was like a brand new team, because every other year before that there were at least a few people from previous years that went as participants or tutors or helpers and so on. And 2017 Denmark was supposed to be like a clean slate for EASA Bulgaria to get as many new people as they can. So a lot of people from my year and me joined, and we finally found out what it is, what EASA is with our own eyes, and that is when the work on the hut began, on the Belish hut, which was then it was proposed to host the INCM. After that, the team that worked on that, like mainly Tedo, Lucina, Marto, and Konstantin, they went to INCM Lapland. They won the bid, and the hut was going to have like INCM Vitusha was on the way of really happening, and then a whole year, like a year and a half of hard work went into the renovation of that hut. I don't really have many photos of it. I have 2 photos of it right now here, but I'm going to talk about them a little bit later. So yeah, the hut was supposed to be rebuilt for the INCM Vitusha. First and foremost, the whole program around it was a year and a half renovation with planned workshops. Almost every month we had a workshop that was curated by a company, usually some kind of a building material company that helped us, that gave us materials or gave us some financial support. So we organized with them an event where the participants were students from different not only architectural universities, but all kinds of people actually. And they came, and the idea was to have a workshop with the actual building material company, explain you how to use this material, and at the same time they would advertise themselves and so on. So it was an amazing year and a half. More than 100 people worked on it. We were very connected, like we connected all of the universities that had architecture in them, mainly in Sofia. It was an amazing year. And then in EASA Croatia, because we won the bid for INCM Vitusha, we could take twice the amount of people. A lot of people also applied as tutors. Did we have tutors? Yeah, we had 2 tutors. We had several helpers, guests, and so on. And like our team was 20-something, like 27 people in EASA Croatia. It was I think the biggest team we've ever had in the history of EASA, and it was such a bonding experience. It was amazing. Like, it is when EASA Bulgaria, at least for us, really came into place, and we're like we could do anything. Like if we're doing this right now, and this happens to be a huge success in the end, like we can continue doing anything we want afterwards. Yeah, these are 2 photos of the team in Veliko Turnovo in 2014 and in Lapland, the guys that won the bid and organized the event. Because our generation was, we were in the organization of INCM Vitusha, but we were a little bit on the side. Like we were doing side stuff mainly, and we were learning. Basically, we were being taught on how to organize an event, indirectly, of course. And afterwards we realized that we actually took a lot of things in. So the INCM passed. It was amazing, at least in my opinion. It was definitely one of the most intellectual and emotional events, personally for me, that year. We won like an award, an architectural award of architecture event of the year as well, which was amazing. And the future life of the hut was supposed to be an art residence, a space for collaborations, workshops, all kinds of events, like a gallery as well. Like, the idea was first developed by us, of course. It was proposed to the municipality because it was a municipality-owned building. And they were, yeah, do you guys actually want to own it? Like, do you want to be the official owners of this hut? And we told them, like, no, we have so many other things we're doing. The idea is to collaborate with you, with the municipality, with the touristic organization, Vitusha, and so on. and to have this place as a neutral place for all these kinds of events to happen. Like we don't want to be hut owners that make a business out of this. Like the idea is different. Like, okay, yeah, we understand, we totally understand. We're behind this idea, don't worry. And a month or so after the INCM, they were like, could we maybe get our keys back? Because we're gonna turn it into a private residence for some part of the army or something like this. And yeah, we couldn't do anything about it because we were not the owners. So we missed the chance. Like I think that is why they proposed it. Like, do you want to deal with this because we don't want to? And then after we said like we don't want to be direct owners, they're like, okay, we're gonna give it to somebody else then. So yeah, these photos are from Iveta, our other NC, and when she went up, she saw that there were cameras. I don't know if you can see, like there are cameras looking for, I don't know what, protecting, I have no idea what. I actually went also to the hut like last year, and I asked around, I asked a person that was sitting inside, like, could I go around and see what's going on with the hut? I was one of those people who helped rebuild it. And he was like extremely rude. Like half of the time he didn't even answer my questions. He was like, just do whatever you want and get out, please. It was such a strange feeling to be in that place and to have this kind of response from the people responsible for it. It was super, super strange. Yeah. So that okay, afterwards, yeah, we went to Switzerland. After Switzerland, in Macedonia. So we were kind of, nothing was happening with the EASA Bulgaria 2019 because of after INCM Vitusha, we I don't know, I guess we needed a year to rest and yeah, to I don't know, nothing really interesting happened then. But since on the INCM Vitusha, Estonia won the bid, and the topic of apathy was going to get introduced to us in 2020. And me and a friend of mine, Ivan, who is also from EASA Bulgaria, we were going to do a workshop in Estonia, but since COVID came and the tickets were too expensive, 2 weeks of quarantine before and after, and yeah, it was no way of going there. And we were wondering what to do, like how could we skip EASA? We started having, as you guys know, all those talks over Zoom with Estonia and the whole EASA community, and the idea of having small gatherings, like national gatherings, was up there. And as soon as I heard it, and as soon as the idea formed in my mind, I was like, yeah, that is definitely the next thing that should be happening. Like this is the most amazing opportunity right now that we have, and because I really felt like that. This is why I mentioned that 2019 nothing happened. Like we were so used of always having something else, some kind of other project that's happening on a local level. The 2019 like was actually 2019 we went to Veliko Trnovo. I think I've told this story as well, to explore what part, like how do people remember us? Do they remember us? Are there any of those workshops, installations, interventions, are they even left there? And yeah, very few of them remained intact. Most of them were kind of destroyed by the gypsy community there, and we had a lot of bad feedback that those 600 drug addicts and alcoholics were all around the city and doing shit and so on. That was from like a history teacher or something that we met in one of the museums. So yeah, that also gave us a lot to think about, like about afterlife of what we're doing and about how people are perceiving what we're doing, because it's 2 weeks, but it can have a very lasting effect, obviously. So yeah, we decided to do a national gathering. Our whole team was very motivated about it. This is a screenshot from one of our meetings. We started thinking of what exactly we could do. This guy was always there, almost always there, and he really yeah, he really helped us. Of course, most of the times when we asked him directly for something, for help with something, it was like, man, I have work to do. Like, don't ask me about shit like this. Like, you know what to do. But still, he was there and he was supporting us and asking dumb questions, which most of the times led to yeah, interesting concepts and so on. So we started finally meeting in real life, and we at first, when we put on our, like, this was, yeah, this is apathy in me. This was our topic for our contest, and at first we had only 5 participants for Estonia. The good thing was that is exactly how many they wanted, but in the end, when we found out that we cannot go there, we thought of maybe we should find more participants if we were going to do a Bulgarian national gathering. More came, like, it was everyone was like an NC. Everyone was just talking to whoever they knew, and in the end we had like 20 new people, which was amazing. This is a photo of, like, we had a something like an excursion to Vitusha, and we visited the hut and all the different huts that we explored during the 2018. It was led by Tedo, something like an introduction to the whole new Bulgarian EASA thing, or the history of what we've done so far on the local level connected to EASA, and how we could move on and how we could continue thinking about these things. So these are 2 of my favorite photos from the EASA. Like, this was our core team. That's me, Ivan, and Iveta. We kind of organized this Bulgarian gathering. So yeah, 3 people organizing an event for 30 people it was fine. It's possible. Like, this is why I'm putting these. I put these 2 photos because we at first we didn't think it's possible to really make an event so easily, but it was easy in a sense, and it was extremely exhausting, of course, because we were also tutors and helpers and organizers. Like, everyone helped, of course, with everything, but we're just running around all the time. And leading a workshop that was the main workshop. Like, the workshop we were supposed to do in Estonia was the main thing that everyone's going through. But yeah, in the end, it was such a success. It was a very emotional experience. A lot of people, actually all of our participants were first timers, like EASA first timers. They have heard about the EASA, they have seen videos, photos, and so on, but none of them had been until then to an EASA event. So it was very interesting to how exactly we would bring the EASA spirit or the EASA feeling to them. And some of them went to Serbia, some of them went to the INCM in Belgium, and they were like they could finally say, yeah, you actually did a very good job. Like, now that I think about it, it really was this same feeling, and this gave us even more ambition that, like, we could do it. Like, EASA can happen everywhere. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if you are people from different countries. Like, the whole thing, the whole idea, the whole sensation that the EASA gives you is, you just want to do something, you do it, and that's it. So last year we started thinking about, like, we heard at first that there is going to be an EASA in Serbia, although for a very long time it wasn't really sure if it's going to happen. But we said to ourselves, like, it doesn't matter if it happens or not. We're definitely going to do a national gathering again, and we could even try making it bigger this year. we adopted the topic of reality because we loved it so much. We used all of the materials that the Serbians gave to implement in our event as well. So at first we thought of going back to the same places we were in 2020 in the apathetic Bulgarian EASA, because that would be the most real thing, like to go back to those places and actually do not just experiment, but actually build something that's real. That was the first idea. Then we weren't really sure it was going to work. And then Marin from our team was like, you guys, you know what? I have this, like, this is the village where my grandparents are from, and we have these two houses there. And I've had this idea of transforming that place because none of his family really live there anymore. Like his aunt goes there during the summer just to do some maintenance on the house, to do some gardening and so on, like only that. So he was like, maybe we could use this place because as you guys and as almost everyone who's tried organizing an event, the toughest thing is to find a place to do it. Like you have millions of ideas and concepts on what exactly to do. But if you don't have a place per se, like it could be the hardest thing, especially with hosting people, somewhere to sleep, somewhere safe to sleep, and so on. And as soon as we heard this idea, we're like, yeah, okay, we have no idea if it's connected to the topic or anything, but it's gonna be free. It's there. We can go there, see how it looks, and so on. It's settled. It's gonna be there. And then he started showing photos of that place to us. It's like it's a part of a bigger village. It's a little bit spread out. It's right in the center of Bulgaria, in a very, very beautiful area. And in this particular part of the village, there's only one permanent resident right now. Everyone else is just going there from time to time. And yeah, there are a lot of, like, in the regions around this village, there are a lot of abandoned houses, just sitting there. Like you could hardly even tell that they were houses at some point. But there are a lot of materials scattered in the woods. So we started exploring, finding all those kinds of places, thinking of what we can do, how we can uncover them, and what exactly. Like at first we were just thinking about workshops and what kind of workshops we can host there just for the event. But the bigger idea of having this place transformed and used for a longer time than 2 weeks was generating it in our minds. And we're like, wait a second, like we had this idea of an art residency with the hut, but the municipality fucked that over. So now we actually have a place that nobody's gonna take because it's privately owned by one of us, and nobody's really using it anymore. So we could maybe transform it, and it's in such a beautiful place. It's yeah, it just wants to become an art residence. So this is the house, the one on the left. This is the whole patio adjacent to the house, and here on the right there's it was like a small farm. So this is the whole place. Our plan is to expand it because everyone else in that village owning the house is kind of related to the family of Marin. So we're in a lot of talks of acquiring some other houses and fixing them and so on, and using them for other things, or expanding this whole residence, making it, maybe at some point we could take the whole small village and do a whole like residence complex. It's a wild dream, but who knows. We have a lot of support. Like the mayor of the village is a huge fan of us. During our event, he came for a bit with his family, and yeah, like there are these moments where when some kind of officials come and like everyone was lying on the ground, and we were kind of like hung over a little bit from last night. We were like caressing each other, but like in a human mash of people. And he came at that moment, and everyone was like, "Ah, shit, we look like a bunch of hippies right now. Like we should be maybe a little bit more serious." I had my like nails painted. It was really fun. But he, like his wife and his kids were looking at us like, what the hell are these guys? But he was so I don't know, like he was so happy to see everyone being there in the village, so many young people, like we were 60 people. And like we showed him the things we have done around. And yeah, he was very amazed, and he is giving us our full support. So these are other photos from the place. This is the kitchen and the space in front of the kitchen. This is just where the first time where we went there, and we started to transform it into what was the kitchen of our event. So here, this is one of the first photos from the first day. These are all the new participants. So basically all of the participants, all of them, yeah, all of like 30 something participants, all new to EASA, most of them like first year, second year, third year students of architecture. Yeah, not this time our team was bigger. It was like around 15 people or 20 people of again, the organizing core. Well, we were the same people as last year, but the other ones were tutors now. We had 6 workshops, which was amazing, like something we never imagined that could happen. Yeah, this is another patio to the house next to us. We got that, like people were sleeping all around, like 60 people sleeping in tents. It was intense. It was really cool. This is a photo of the 6 workshops and how people joined. We had a workshop fair, which it really worked as a fair. Like we're going around talking and doing little small tasks or small things to see if they would like the workshop and so on. It really, like, this event definitely felt like a real EASA. And we also, some of us went to EASA Serbia, which was like with hosted around like 100 to 150 people. And we went there a week before our event started. So we were very much into the EASA spirit thing. Like we went there, we were there for 4.5 days, something like this. And we got so pumped up with the EASA energy. We just came back and directly started preparing everything for our EASA. It was a beautiful experience. Here, this is actually one of our teachers, Martin Yurgiev, who was the reason that I didn't quit architecture. Like he is such a cool guy. Every one of our friends who has been with him in residential building, because he's a teacher of residential buildings. We're all giant fans of him, and he had been to EASA like in the 90s, no, not in the 90s, 2007 or 8 or 9, something like this. And we told him, like, we know you've been to EASA, and you're also one of the few reasons that we didn't quit architecture, because you're such a cool teacher and such an inspiring person. Would you like to come and do a workshop on our event? Because we're like bringing EASA to Bulgaria because of COVID and so on. He was so pleased to be there. It was really cool. This is part of his workshop. It was like exploring like nets and the way they connect, and it was a metaphor of how we connect and so on. It was a really, really cool workshop. This is another workshop by, actually, all of the workshops were also done by people who have never been to EASA. Like our participants from 2020 did the workshops as if they had been to EASA. those workshops had really such an EASA feeling to them, because me as an organizer was going around all the time, looking for what I could help with, and I was joining workshops for like half a day to see how they're going. Yeah, it's such a good feeling to see something like this come to life. We used the fabric from the tent in the INCM. This is a part of it, because it eventually tore into several pieces. So we're still reusing those. This is another workshop. This was maybe the most construction workshop, but at the same time, a very theoretical one. This was a barn. This is on the left, we have a before photo, and on the right, this is the after photo. So these people, they really like the place, although we said like it's not so stable, so maybe we shouldn't use it. But they were like, we're gonna make it stable, and they spent like the first few days repairing the place, building this wooden floor, because there wasn't anything under it at first. It was just a huge hole in the ground. Yeah, and they managed to transform the place into such a beautiful space that eventually hosted all of us for their final presentation. And they were exploring like their inner worlds, like different realities and so on, while doing this. This is from another workshop. It was Ryan Victor's workshop. Actually, this was the only workshop with tutors who had been to EASA Croatia. It was a very interesting one. Like eventually they gave the tutor titles to their participants, and for the second half of the event, and they stepped down as tutors. They're like, you're gonna do whatever you want now. You're tutors, like you rule this workshop. And yeah, their idea was a big canvas or something like this that yeah, everyone had an option to do something on it, and we eventually made it into, I have no idea. It was an interesting experience. Again, this is a very secret photo of our workshop that was kind of like an immersive workshop for everyone else who was everyone who was on the EASA. It was an open workshop. So Ivan and Stacy, they remodeled this house. They refurbished it, and the idea was to get inside with your eyes closed, with your eyes tied with a blindfold, and how you could experience the space as a blind person. Yeah, it was very interesting, very immersive. They killed it with this, definitely. We thought of including the INCM and the discussion type of events, of gatherings in our event as well. So we kind of made this place, which yeah, is the symbol of EASA Bulgaria, for an evening discussion, which went very well. It was very interesting. We had the NCM rules explained of how a discussion should be done and so on. We also did speed dating, which again proved to many people how quickly your opinion can change, and how good it is to talk with more and more people about the same thing, so that you could get more different vantage points of an idea. Yeah, here there's another photo of us using the fabric because it was kind of going to rain. This is what I did most of the event. I was cooking because my grandma, she is a very huge fan of EASA. Like she has Facebook, and she always follows everything that's going on with EASA. She looks at photos most of the times, and she's like, where are you? I don't see you in any of the photos. And I showed her this one, like, that was mainly what I was doing. Like I was cooking and going around fixing stuff. So nobody wants to see that on a photo of EASA. Like, I'm kidding, of course. On the right, there's I joined one of the workshops. This workshop was called One After Another. It was exploring these chain reactions of how like a literal chain reaction. So yeah, I was a big part of their team as my break from organizing. Yeah, this is some kind of like a final photo of I think the last day. And yeah, everyone really loved the place and the whole idea behind it. And as soon as the event came to an end, everyone was asking like, what's next? Like, what are we doing after this? How are we gonna make this into a place? Like, are we going to come back? Are we gonna host another EASA here? Like, what's going on? And we started having small gatherings, and yeah, we really wanted to develop this place into some kind of an alternative space, because also the place that it is in, it's next to a bigger city called Trojan, which is famous for its artisan workshops and all kinds of craftsmen and so on. It's a very big like folklore artist hub in Bulgaria. And we really wanted to make that connection with the people there and with what we want to do with this kind of alternative methods in education, not only connected to architecture, because on our event there was a student of philosophy, students of graphic design, illustration, book editing, history of art, landscape architecture. So yeah, we kind of like expanded this EASA bubble, and it was so beautiful to have so many people outside of architecture, because again, the workshops were not entirely connected to architecture, and their input was really helpful and really interesting. And especially the guy, like the philosophy guy, he was very interested in this whole thing, the whole idea of EASA. We have some ideas. Like I met him a few weeks ago, and he was like, we have something like your organization, but for philosophers, and we would really love to collaborate on something. So that's something that's probably going to happen in the near future. So yeah, the whole program now of our residents, Belish residents, would like, actually this is like a year plan for this year. So basically now we're doing some mostly general research about the place and picking up places that could be we could change a little bit. Our main goal right now is to wait. I don't have. Yeah, so this is just a second. Yeah, so our main goal now would be this this big piece of the land. Because it's a very steep, and we would love to. We're going to make it into terraces, so it could be better used. Down here, there's going to be something like a stage for performances and so on. And right now, actually, a lot of people are there. I'm not there. I didn't go. I know I said in the email that we would be there, but I had to stay back home. But other people are there, fixed. Now their idea is to trace old and forgotten paths and routes and roads and so on, fix them onto a map and see how connected this place is with maybe discover some other abandoned buildings and so on. Also, a more detailed plan on what's going to happen in the patio of the place. Also getting ready for optimization of our water system, because we had problems with the water during the event. The piping is very old, and there are a lot of apparently like sinks that are not closed in other old houses, and water is just being spilled all the time and not saved. So we're definitely have to deal with that with professionals, of course, because yeah, this is one of the biggest problems of the place, but it's gonna be really fixed really soon. Well, what else? What else? Currently, of course, we are joining competitions and European projects and so on to get all kinds of funding that we could have. We applied for new Bauhaus, a new European Bauhaus about rising stars. We really kind of hope that we will get some kind of at least recognition, if not a prize, but really hoping for a prize. As soon as there's going to be a public voting, as soon as we're accepted, we're going to send everywhere. Like if anyone, if you guys and everyone else from EASA could help us with this, it'll be amazing, because it will give us a big kick, a big jump start on buying materials and starting the actual work. Of course, that we know that we have to go to people and like just ask for collaborations and sponsorships and so on. So there was a building expo last week here in Sofia, and we did this small leaflet, and we went around, and we actually got one of our first sponsors, which is a decking a decking company. It's really cool because it uses local materials very close to our, like in the city, very close to our residence, and it's 70% wood, 30% polymer, and like it's this whole composite material could be recycled, and it's just perfect. We talked to the guys. Actually, it was one guy, and as soon as we told him our idea and we showed him a leaflet, he was like, "Oh wow, yeah, I'm giving you a decking for free. Like whatever part you want with my material decking, we're doing it. Like just say when, where, and so on. I love your idea. I love your enthusiasm. More things like this should be happening. We're doing it." And we were very excited about this, like because everyone else we went to were like, yeah, we're gonna keep in touch, and we are, of course. We have to send them all kinds of information and what, like a very detailed program of what we're gonna do. But yeah, that guy was just so in love with the idea, and definitely decking is something that we're definitely gonna need in making this place look better and work better. So yeah, right now people are going there. This is a part of that crooked place that we want to make into terraces. Yeah, this is part of the work of yeah. So we're going to have all kinds of workshops during the summer. Those workshops are going to be connected to fixing the place. Of course, they're going to be curated by us and by companies that join us, that want to collaborate with us, help us with materials or financial support and so on. So these are still in, like, we're about to announce them. There's going to be a festival at the beginning of September. I think that like the first weekend of September. That date might change. We'll see, but for now it's going to be there. Then to that festival and to all of the other workshops and events, we're going to share them as soon as we figure them out, of course, with the EASA community. If anyone wants to come and join us on this, we'll be very happy to have you, of course. On that festival, it's going to be something like the culmination of this of the summer. We're going to show people from all around who come. The idea is to get as many people as we can on that event, potential sponsors as well, to show what we've done during this year, what our future plans are, and also have something like a small workshop of really finding ways of making this place work on its own. yeah, so what can we do together? This is the last slide. Yeah, if you have any of you, if you have any ideas of collaborating or exchanging some kind of workshops or anything, like we talked with Margus. Margus is in Bulgarian right now. He's working with Terry, and the Estonians are also doing something like a residence. They're also in the beginning of it, but we're like, yeah, actually we're both doing residences in different countries. Like we found there was a grant, a European grant about small partnerships. So there are all kinds of these programs for international exchange. And if anyone has something like a residency or something like this, like we could collab, we could exchange, we could participate in each other's events and so on, and make them help them grow, because basically all of these ideas are amazing, but if we don't have the funds and we don't have the support of a municipality or some kind of a European project, like it's very hard to do anything, because we all have other jobs and we're doing this in our free time. We would love to have this like work on its own, and yeah, and help people actually make money out of this, like tutoring workshops and so on, because it is something that is not just for one summer of like a vacation of having fun and so on. It is something where young professionals can develop furthermore their skills, and also the whole creating a space and a community connected to the space, and people trying to bring those ideas and bring this idea of a community back to their own places, and applying it there is something we're really striving for, as is EASA, of course. Yeah, so basically that's it. I hope I didn't take too long with this. If you guys have any questions.
Should we applause?
Yeah.
Thanks.
For questions and then go to lunch for half an hour. I mean,
Yeah, sorry, we're our schedule, maybe we put it a bit too tight, but I'm gonna.
Oh yeah.
If anyone does have any questions or comments on what they thought.
I've got a quick, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've got a quick thought that kind of how I thought what really worked well with Ukraine and Serbia in kind of recent years was that, like, I saw people coming from Serbia to Ukraine and kind of like going between those events. And I wonder if there's a kind of way that if there are people doing, say in 2023 or kind of maybe in the future, there's a way of kind of linking them up so that, say, something happens in Bulgaria, then something happens in kind of like England, then something happens somewhere else, and then something happens somewhere else. That would maybe be a way of like creating not direct collaboration, but indirect collaboration. So people can kind of like go, okay, well, you know, if they want to continue their EASA experience for a little bit longer, they can jump on a kind of, you know, jump on a train and go to another place and, you know, chip in and make a workshop there. I think that could be something that could be quite cool.
Yeah, definitely that would be something. And even for this year, whoever goes to Romania, to EASA Romania, we're also going to be there, of course. Yeah, you could it's something like 200 kilometers, I think, or maybe a little bit less, from Karalash to our residence. So if anyone wants to come see how we're doing, stay for a few days, help us with what we're doing, because we're definitely going to be having some kind of workshops during that time. Yeah, you could definitely come, and we'll love to host you, and would love the help, especially for this year. For the next and after that, that is definitely going to be something really cool that could happen. Like, this kind of collaboration and jumping from one place to another.
I have really like something I find. Hi, sorry. Hi, Sasha.
Hey.
Something that I just wanted to point out as a couple of takeaways that I've really gotten from what you've been talking about is that it's a lot of it seems to be perseverance, which is very nice to see. You know, it's the thing of at first the INCM didn't get selected the first time, but you worked on it even more, and then you brought a better version of it again. And then in these things of like, okay, yeah, so EASA Estonia isn't happening, you do something yourself. So you know EASA reality is happening, but so you still decide to do things yourself as a national event. So it is like not, I think it's very impressive to see how it's not there is already something that is happening, so we don't need to do something ourselves. It's more of the, well, we could do more, we want to do more, we have the will to do more, so let's do it. I think that's something really inspiring that that seems to come through with a lot of what you've been talking about. And yeah,
And you know what? This year we decided, because we've already done two EASA events, like the Bulgarian EASA events, and I'm not an NC anymore. I gave the role to a new girl. Her name is Dana. She's actually here. Can you wave to everyone, Dana? Show yourself a little bit. You saw her in many of the photos. There she is. So me and Iveta and Maria Ivan were like, okay, like this event last year, it's gonna be our last one that we are all officially organizing, because there's so many now new people that are part of the EASA Bulgaria family. Like, if you guys want to do something, it's up to you. Like, we would love for this whole thing to continue, of having these Bulgarian EASAs adjacent to the EASAs, maybe adopting the same topics, maybe having different topics and so on. And at first, like the first replies of that from the younger generations of EASA Bulgaria, like, we don't know, maybe we'll just go to EASA Romania and see what like a European EASA is like, because still most of them haven't been to a real one, even though like we had a team of 10 to 11 people last year on EASA Serbia, but still it's very few people compared to the 60 people that we have here, like an active team and so on. And we're like, yeah, it's your decision. If you don't want to do anything here in Bulgaria, it's fine. Just let's explore what's going to happen in Romania. We had like around 6 or 7 people go to the city of Kalarash. Then we had a meeting where they told us all about it. They showed us photos, like different, like we were thinking about maybe applying for workshops and so on. And we were just sitting, listening to what the new EASA Bulgaria team were up to and what they found out in the place. And it's sometimes they're saying like, maybe we could do like a Bulgarian EASA, like with the same topic, but on the other side of the Danube River and so on. So at that point I was like, wow, okay, so this is your idea now, and we're here to help. Of course, we will in any way we can. So we're still not sure if it's going to happen. We're still about to really make decisions about it. But it was the thing that you just said, like, reminded me of this, that it's very beautiful to see how these things are going to continue, because we did them because we saw this example from Teodorosi and their generation and the INCM Hut, and we took the idea and we transformed it into something like of our own. And now we're going to see it again taken by younger generations and transformed on their own into something else, maybe, or yeah.
Yeah. Well,
no, that kind of I was going to ask a question, but it was related to what you just said, actually, of like how you ensure it continues. But the other thing I was going to say is that in your timetable, I noticed you don't only have national contact, but you have local contact, which is almost like a step forward or a step farther in like managing the Bulgaria team locally. And I wondered like how that works, maybe.
Can you again like
Sorry.
rephrase the question?
Yeah, like the question was about how you've got like you seem to have like local contacts as well as national contacts within your group.
Like here, local contacts, and national contacts.
Contacts.
Yeah, well, the idea of this is just to make contacts with all kinds of artists that are around in Bulgaria and in the area around, as I said, in this city of Turian, with a lot of craftsmen, and to try to get people outside of EASA and outside of architecture very interested into what we're doing. Like that was the idea of local contacts and national contacts, like people from the place around the residents and from all around of the country that could potentially come and help us or collaborate with us or host their workshop or their idea for an event.
Cool. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me. Of course.
I'm sorry. I want to like we could probably keep talking to you for ages, but we'll, like we
Yeah.
quick before like the Lost and Find guys come and talk to us. So yeah, like thanks so much, and I guess we could like probably pick up like we're going to
Thank you as well.
have some ideas like this afternoon. So like hopefully we come up with a way that we could work together. Yeah. So like thanks so much. That was really cool.
Thank you as well.